Hey guys, so today I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. So far with this blog, I've been devoting my writing to movie reviews with only a couple of articles talking about more abstract subjects. Also, my opinions have mostly been restricted to the written word. Well, today, we're going to shake things up a bit. Today, I'm giving you guys a video in the style of Movie Bob or Sam's channel where I talk about an abstract subject having to do with something related to the entertainment business. And it's actually serendipitous that I decided to do it today because something very interesting has happened in the film world. Today, Disney has finally dropped a trailer for its much-anticipated live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast. Before I go any further, though, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that those who are watching this video have already seen the teaser for this film. So if you haven't seen it yet, then go watch it, then come back and finish this video. It's okay. I'll wait. Seen it? Good. What did I think of it? Well, it's pretty good. It's dark and atmospheric. I love that it contains a callback to Alan Menken's original score from the '91 film, and it was cool to hear Ewan McGregor and Ian McKellen as Lumiere and Cogsworth, respectively. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of the Beast in there, but we're still 10 months out from the film's release, so the effects on him probably aren't even done at this point. But all in all, it was a pretty good teaser, and I'm anxious to see more. But I think this points to a bigger question about remakes, particularly when it comes to Disney. It seems like every day that Disney is releasing news about some live-action remake and or spin-off they have in the works. Heck, just a month ago they released their live-action remake to The Jungle Book, and in 2 months' time they're going to be releasing their remake of Pete's Dragon. And just a year ago they gave us a remake of Cinderella, which I still haven't seen, by the way. And they've also announced a Cruella de Vil-centric movie, a live-action Winnie the Pooh movie, and I believe they even announced a movie centering around the Nine Ball Mountain short from Fantasia. Wow, that seems like a lot. So it would seem that Disney's just trying to hop aboard the remake train before it runs out of steam, huh? Well, on the one hand, yes. A lot of people complain that most of today's movies are based on things that have come before, the biggest money makers being comic book movies. In fact, this year alone we have X-Men Apocalypse, Suicide Squad, and Doctor Strange coming our way, and Disney doesn't seem to be helping the case, as they seem to be announcing and or releasing more remakes of their animated classics. When I first realized this, all I could think was, man, Disney is running out of ideas, and when I heard they were doing a movie based on Beauty and the Beast, a movie which for all intents and purposes is already kind of perfect, I was constantly asking myself why. What purpose could they possibly have for remaking this movie aside from money? But 2 different events changed my outlook on this. The first event was the teaser trailer for Pete's Dragon. For those of you who have seen it already, you know that it doesn't look a thing like the original film from 1977. In fact, it looks like the filmmakers have done a complete 180 tone shift on the material, changing it from a lighthearted musical to a dark but whimsical, almost Spielbergian take on the story. The second event that changed my outlook was the new Jungle Book remake, and yeah, most of you probably already know what I thought of that. To sum up, I really enjoyed it, mostly because of how the film was able to stay true to the original spirit of the 1967 Disney film, but also bring in elements from the Kipling books as well. And this leads to the reason why I'm actually a little more excited for these upcoming Disney remakes, the chance for new interpretations. I think part of what can sour an audience on a remake is if you do the exact same thing that the last film did without bringing something different to the table. But if you attack the story from a different point of view, especially if it's based on a book, then I think you're pretty much set. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little more forgiving towards the 2005 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie than most people. I mean, sure, Johnny Depp's acting is a little awkward at times, and his entire backstory doesn't really make much sense, but at least director Tim Burton was trying to interpret the story in a new way rather than just copy what the original film did. In fact, I think it's a little closer to the dark but whimsical spirit of the Roald Dahl book than the Gene Wilder film is. Another prime example is the True Grit remake. Now, I admit that I haven't seen the original John Wayne movie, but from what I hear, it's just a basic classic Western revenge story. Maddie and Rooster set out on their quest, they defeat the bad guy, and Rooster rides off into more adventure. But with the Coen Brothers remake, it's a lot less black and white than that. Maddie and Rooster do defeat the bad guy, but Maddie grows up into a bitter old woman, and Rooster ends up dying. And that's where the film ends. So instead of just making the same old classic Western that the last movie was, even though from what I hear the movie did copy a few things from the original film, the Coen brothers interpreted the story from a much more realistic angle than the old one did. And Disney seems to be doing the same thing as of late. Rather than just taking their old properties and doing the same old thing in their remakes, they seem to be expanding on the elements people love about the original while interpreting them from new points of view. Now, obviously this formula won't always work. We all know how everybody seemed to have a negative opinion towards the Alice in Wonderland remake and the Maleficent film. But just because those 2 movies weren't very well received doesn't mean we should be entirely closed off to Disney trying it with their other properties. I mean, The Jungle Book seemed to be doing pretty well, and I hope the same success accompanies Pete's Dragon. Now, could Pete's Dragon and the upcoming Beauty and the Beast movie and all these other movies be awful, awful movies? Yes, there's always that possibility. But I think it's a good thing to give these movies the benefit of the doubt because, well, it's never a good thing to hate on a movie before you've even seen it. It's kind of like that Forrest Gump quotation: film is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And for those of you who just hate remakes in general, let me share a little quotation with you guys: there's nothing new under the sun. So here's hoping that the Beauty and the Beast remake does well. We'll have to see more trailers to get a better idea, but I can definitely say I'm hooked. Well, that's my opinion, guys. Tune in later this week when I review The Nice Guys starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Take care.